Elevate your new week, fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world events. Hook up to SSM Monday program Between the Lines.
Yes. Viewers, you're welcome. Between the Lines. It's another beautiful week. You can, no other place to be than a program like this. Gets you started for the week, 14th of October, 2024. My name is Matt Godwin, and you are welcome to SSM News Echoes Between the Line program. As usual, we have our coordinators from different angles so they can really put into perspective the lines, the news lines. And in Lagos, Nigeria is our man, Olayinka Raji. Raji, welcome to Between the Lines.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, viewers across the world. Welcome to Between the Lines on Monday on SSM. The best place to be at this time.
Nice, Raji. You said this so well. How are you, Raji? How is Lagos
I'm very
today?
well, thank you. Lagos is good.
This is what we want to hear at all point in time. Viewers, you're welcome. So let's kickstart with some of the news that were happening during the week, the weekend, follow-up news. Raji, the story of Israel still pounding on the Lebanese villages, the south of the country, and UN this morning reporting of catastrophic conflicts that might spring up the more. When we hear all of this, we are really not happy. But this is what's happening. The United Nations organization has said that peacekeepers will be in Lebanon, but is warning of very, very catastrophic regional conflicts as the day go by. So we thought at a point by now, this whole thing will stop, because we're also entering into the Jewish holy period, that time of their festival. Yes, their festival. I remember it was this time last year. We had that attack. It's normally the Feast of Tabernacles. They have their feast days by this time, but UN is saying there will be more conflict in the following week. So what's your view on this, Raji? What do you say? I know you have your reservations. Go ahead.
No, there are two things actually now. There are two things actually. One is the ongoing genocide in Gaza.
Okay. Yeah, Raji, I'm sorry to stop you like that, but let's bring in our diva. It's been long we saw this face, but she's here with us, diva Fiona Akanu from London, UK. You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
I have a special smile for you, Fiona.
I don't know if my network is bad or there's...
No, we can see you.
Sorry, Raji.
We can see you. We can hear you. Your network is not bad. We can see you and we can hear you. So just hang on.
Yes.
All right, Raji, go ahead.
So as I was saying, there are two things. First is the ongoing genocide in Gaza, to which the events in Lebanon and Iran are providing distraction. There's still genocide ongoing in Gaza, evil genocide. The second thing is that Netanyahu is desperate for another term in office. And all that he's doing, he doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about Israel. He doesn't care about the world. All that he cares is about he's coming back to power. Elections are close. And if he doesn't perpetrate a war or elongate the war, it's likely that he'll be voted out. So he's desperate. And a desperate person hardly ever has any sense. And so it has shown in the senseless genocide that is going on all around him?
Well, yes, you've always insisted on these your views, but the thing is, like we will say, when you touch the tail of a lion, for example, or a dog,
Forget about the lion and forget
no,
about the tail.
let me come in like that. I mean,
okay.
you don't have when there's a reaction, there's obviously going to be a counter reaction, and in this case, yes, Israel is taking it all the way. We know it's this October 7, 2023 reaction. They are taking it all the way because, I mean, they said the plan is, like he said, is to level down everywhere Hezbollah, Hamas, anywhere they have their domain. He wants to level it down. And he's actually...
You see, people say that the Arabs want to annihilate Israel, and therefore the whole world should come in their defense. So if Israel also intends to annihilate the Palestinians, should the world also fold its arms and let it go on?
Okay. The news today that we are concerned about is that more people are suffering. The Lebanese are the one now suffering the most, and the United Nations is warning that there might be more catastrophic conflict as the day go by because these two, this clash is going on. Fiona, how do you feel about all of this? Lives going, people dying, over. Fiona, tell us.
I just feel that as long as human beings are on this earth, there's going to be conflict, and people are going to do whatever they feel to resolve the conflict for their own best interests. So that's what I feel. It's unfortunate that lives are being lost, but I think that when war is on the cards, then people are definitely going to get killed. Is it fair? Of course, it's not fair, but unfortunately, that's when war is concerned, things aren't fair. So that's really all I have to say. I'm not really going to speak for or against anybody in this particular situation. I don't think I'm educated enough to be able to speak on either party's side.
It's okay. We understand you're trying to be very neutral. Not that you're not educated enough, but you want to be neutral. It's understandable. But this between the lines, between the lines.
In this case, Shamak, in this case, you can't afford to be neutral.
Okay.
You have to stand on the side of humanity.
Well, another thing is take note, we will all, you, me, Fiona, we are media persons first. So media people don't take sides majorly in views.
It's not about taking sides.
I'm coming. So but you have your own opinion, but I will give it out as a news, then you can probably say your opinion. But media don't take sides.
We cannot
try to
afford
stay neutral. No, that's every other person, but not you, my brother, not you. Okay.
Thank you. Behind the finger.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Raji. Thank you, Fiona, playing the neutral game. Viewers, this is it. Between the Lines, 14th October, we're here again. Gentlemen, on the 9th of October, there was that United Nations meeting going on, the assembly, and they wanted to pick 18 member countries that will be in the Human Rights Council for 2025 to 2027 term. Now they picked those countries. In Africa, 5 countries represented us, and somehow Nigeria wasn't there. Now that brought a lot of news in the social platform. Everybody was saying that Nigeria was snubbed. Nigeria, because our government is this, that, we couldn't make the Security Council for United Nations. So what we did here in SSM was to really get the story behind that whole thing. And what we had was, no, Nigeria wasn't snubbed. It was an election that needed 5 countries, and Nigeria participated in picking F.N.A, Gambia, Kenya, DRC, and Ethiopia to be in that available 5 seats for Africa. So, so why I'm saying this is to put it to perspective, viewers. Nigeria wasn't snubbed. The presidency have said the United Council election was done, and we were one of those that elected Benin, Gambia, and the African countries to be in that that security seats. So, do you guys have anything to say before we bring in Sir George?
Yes.
Okay, third.
Yes. Okay, bring in Sir George. Bring in Sir George, please.
Yeah, Sir George is here. Sir George is in this car, but he's here. Sir George, it's good to see you.
Good afternoon, everybody. And it's Canadian Thanksgiving Day today, so we're celebrating Thanksgiving. So forgive me for being late.
Because we're going to come to that. We want to know how your Thanksgiving is going. Give us some small story on that. Okay, go ahead, Raji.
Yes. I think our government is just trying to be to split hairs or to share meat with its teeth. No, it was not as if people put themselves up for election. No, countries were suggested, and no country suggested Nigeria. Only 3 suggested Nigeria. Nigeria might not have suggested itself, and probably elected to go for selecting Togo or Benin or whatever. And I'm sure Nigeria knows itself that he couldn't have been selected or suggested by too many countries because we have a very bad history of human rights oppression in the country. So it was a good thing that Nigeria didn't even suggest itself to be part of the
but Raji,
member of that board.
Nigeria can be in everything. I mean, Fiona, what do you think?
Where are they? Where are they in the United Nations? Please tell me.
Okay, because I mean, you see how Africa has about 48 countries.
You haven't answered my question. Where are they in the United Nations?
Okay. What I know is
don't try to defend
tenor. No, listen to this. Tenor. It doesn't. It's not like a lifetime thing. So these 5 countries.
Were we in the last 10? Were we in the last group?
Remember, we've been in previous group. Remember, no. You don't know the United Nations. We've been in previous
maybe about 10, 20 years ago.
Also, one time, Emeka Nyoku was we were involved in that whole
was
thing
20 years ago. He was in the Commonwealth.
Anyway,
he was in the Commonwealth, so not United Nations.
Anyway, what I think personally is we can't be in everything. Nigeria has been involved in a lot of things, and being in everything is not what it is.
Don't try to defend. Please, let's go with our try to defend. We are not in anything.
George, do you want to say something about this? We
are not in anything.
Is George? Are you there?
George, I'm listening.
Yes, Fiona, is there anything you want to say about this? Because we got this bulletin from the federal government saying that it wasn't that we were snubbed. So that alone is okay. They clarified the position on that election, that United Council election. That it has nothing to do with snub. It was that Nigeria participated also.
Yeah. So I think that I understand what the Nigerian government is saying by saying that they played the role of the kingmaker, as it were. Our human rights situations are no news to us as Nigerians. So I suppose that it would probably be a bit comical, really, for us to be. But for me, it's neither here nor there. It doesn't mean anything as far as as far as I'm concerned. It makes no odds whether we're there, we're not there. The important thing is how can we get our country back on track. All those other things are completely irrelevant at this stage in Nigeria. I'm sorry, they don't mean anything to anybody. So we don't need to make it. We need to make a fuss about the real things that affect Nigerians every day, not all that. So to me, it doesn't mean anything.
That's a very good viewpoint. We need to settle ourselves home first. If the home is still very rough, scanty, and we can't begin to look to holding positions in such big space when we are not even together back home. So Raji, let's just take what the federal government has said.
No, you are the one prolonging the whole matter now.
Mm-hmm. No.
We are done with it.
Fiona said that well too. Okay. So the presidency have said we weren't snubbed, and that is it. Let's move on, gentlemen. This is it.
You don't want me to contribute to that?
I thought you didn't want to. Okay, let's hear you.
I was talking, but you muted me.
Okay, because there's a background noise. The noise is not too.
Yeah, I understand. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So anyway, listen to this. You know what is happening in Africa right now? Many countries are moving over to BRICS. Mm-hmm. And, the likes of some of these countries that recently, were took over by military, they're coming together. So if Nigeria, with the reputation that we had, once Tinubu became the president and there was a little squabble with the Niger Republic, the divide was a little deeper. So I believe that Nigeria not even coming up or being suggested can actually bring a little more unity, especially among the West Africans. So that's what I believe that may have happened, or maybe we thought that automatically we would be there, so nobody nominated us, and then they excluded us. So we don't know the main reason really why we were not nominated by any other country. You can never tell, but this is how it is. So, and I believe that the way it is right now is even better, because we haven't shown any kind of strong leadership when it comes to African OAU or whatever you call it, and then this West African ECOWAS. Mm-hmm. So I believe that the way it is right now, it is even better to have other smaller countries to have a say-so, regarding, because this is exactly what they're doing to us with the UN. We don't have any permanent seat, but yet they want us to be involved. But they're the decision makers, and when decisions are made, it doesn't really matter whether we like it or not. Especially only Russia, US, and other countries are the ones that have permanent seats, and China. So I think this is better this way, personally.
Thank you, George. So that adds to the whole thing. And listen, let's not play down on Nigeria with the United Nations. We know the peacekeeping missions Nigeria holds for United Nations and a lot of things we do. So it's not like we've not been involved, we've not been active, we've been active on that plane. All right, gentlemen, thank you. Let's move on to more stories coming from different corners. There's a story of, I don't know if you guys have this, air peace. Air peace is, we're hearing some things there. Now, for our viewers, Air Peace is that private airline owned by a Nigerian businessman, Onyema. What has happened is through the years, between 2010 and 2018, there were allegations of funds fraudulently being wired into that man's account in Atlanta, United States. And somehow those funds were not, didn't pass through good channel. So it was said that there was something, it was fraudulent, big amount of money into his Atlanta account. So now the United States banking system has come up to say this man is facing some crime. They are alleging he has committed a crime of fraud, and that he should face it. So, but Air Peace came out to say he's been saying this all along. He maintains his innocence as the United States charged him with this whole thing. And they are now adding to it justice obstruction. That's somehow, somewhere, he was blocking them from doing their investigation. Yes, go ahead, Raji. What is it?
The accusation is about, first was about laundering. was about laundering funds. Yes, money laundering. Then the second one, which now made it more criminal, was the accusation of trying to obstruct justice by writing a letter and backdating it to before the money laundering case came up, and that that to me is the only criminal act that may be involved in the whole process.
Okay. Yes. So, what do you think could happen, Fiona? Do you think he could be indicted and taken? I mean, is this also a witch hunt because of what he's expanding? No, I'm just.
I think anybody that's trying to circumvent the law or change the outcome is probably more likely for that to be the reason why the charges will stick than anything else. Yes, I understand that I understand the whole everything that Raji said, and it's unfortunate. And is it a witch hunt? Well, because it's something that's been going on for a while, but I because of the current climate and the fact that actually the wider world, so I'm not mentioning any airlines or governments, but I feel that the whole airpiece agenda hasn't really had a good press from the beginning. So there's a part of me that thinks that had he been Joe Bloggs, that the way and manner in which all this is happening may not have happened like this. That's just what I feel personally. Because if we even think about what has happened with the airpiece flights to London, and just like operational issues, which I think have come as a result of the bigger boys thinking, oh, this is going to really impinge on our bottom line. So I think that there's an element of where can we get this? Where can we frustrate this guy? I think there's definitely an element of that. I'm not saying that he was right. I'm not saying there was no money laundering. I'm not saying anything like that. But I mean, money laundering and people squirreling money away is not news. That's been happening since time immemorial. It's just the timing of it is just interesting that it would be after he's launched this kind of new thing that's moving between and it's, I know it's a big deal for other airlines. I just wonder how much of it has been constructed, if you know what I mean. I just wonder about that. But if anybody has done anything criminal, then they need to just face the full extent of the law. That's that's what's fair. So we'll just have to see. He's innocent until proven guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty. George, do you think? I know you've always talked about Airpiece, how he's doing. Tell us.
I echo the same sentiment that Fiona just brought up. It's nothing but a witch hunt. Listen to this. Recently on Canadian Nigerian Investment Business Summit that we just had this week, a lot were being said about APs coming to, Canada, direct flight to Canada. So the expansion is actually there. And what they are seeing is that because of this man coming in, prices of flights in Nigeria were affected because he lowered his price, and then all of a sudden there is competition, which is touching the bottom line, the profit they used to make in Nigeria. Now he's coming to UK with a lot of frustrations going on. They don't want him there. They're moving to Gatwick, and yet every time there's been a lot of complaints. Excuse me, regarding what's going on. So I believe that there's a witch hunt to slow him down, to ensure that this kind of expansion and the way he's going, that is going to be slowed, either stopped or whatever the case might be. That's all it is. After all, when you talk about conspiracy and all those type of things, it's just so bizarre to know that now here is this man. Immediately he started, coming out openly. They got to find something on him. That's what it is.
Okay, but one known thing you guys all probably should also know is nobody comes into a terrain like that and just have it smooth.
No.
I mean, LPs should know this will be happening. You don't just come into, and that's international business. That's one of the lucrative money-making sector in the world. Air business, passenger plane, and all that. So, Fiona, I mean, LPs should know the hazards and the risks of getting involved in this kind of business. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying that the airline or Mr. Oyema, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be aware of the risks. I'm just saying that it just seems really interesting that the pressure almost seems to have come ever since he started to frustrate the bottom lines of big airlines. It just seems, I'm not saying that that's what it is, but it just seems to a lay person listening to that, it just seems a bit convenient, we say.
Raji, you want?
Yes, I want to go with what Sir George and Fiona have said about coming into international business. Unfortunately, airline business has very small, very slim margins, and the moment that competition becomes too much, almost every aspect of the air travel is affected. So I'm sure they wouldn't want a local company to take over their international routes. Lagos anywhere route, Lagos to anywhere abroad is a very lucrative line, and I'm sure most international airlines will hate it for one upstart Okoroma to come and be competing with them. So whatever they can throw at him, I'm sure they will do.
Absolutely, it's true.
So it's like so what you're saying is like a passage of right. You want to become this person, you have to go through this process and this head knocking. Then eventually, if he stands, boom.
Yes.
He owns the airspace. Nice. Yes. Thank you, guys. Before we go on our short breaks, few minutes. The news came in the morning. Super Eagles said they're boycotting the AFCON qualifying match over delay by Libyan authority at the airport. Raji, do you have that story? We heard they've left. They've gone now. What's the update?
Yes.
Tell us.
No, I would have thought that NFF will go through CAF to put in their protests and not to naturally decide to leave. I would have thought that to be the best thing to do. But I understand that our team is back, and I think it was rather hasty. Because they could have made their case without leaving and still be able to do it. And then CAF will probably put up whatever penalties they want to put, or maybe postpone the match.
But don't you think they were really pushed to the wall?
Can I just interject? Sorry, can I just interject?
Okay, go ahead, F.N.A. Yeah.
Can I interject? I hear what Sir Raji is saying, and that's fantastic. But really, they're sportsmen, so they need their rest. They need to do their practice. They need to do everything that makes them a successful team. So if they corralled somewhere and just kept sitting around, I think they're within their right. I don't think it's hasty. I think they're within their right to say, listen, you guys are not going to give us a level playing field. We're exhausted. We haven't slept. We haven't trained. What are we going for? So I think there's a part of what they're doing that's actually quite right. I think they're justified. I don't think it's fair.
No, I think they should have left it for CAF to decide whether they were going to postpone because of the circumstances. You see, because if they have left now, but I also understand that the president of the Libyan Football Federation has been sacked or resigned. I don't know whether that was because of what happened or not. But I would have thought that first we'll have put our protest clearly to CAF, and then for CAF, and we are pressured CAF to take a decision.
Maybe the reason I understand that. Maybe just because of the trauma of trying to do anything through proper channels in Nigeria, they just decided, you know what, there's no need. Maybe that, because, the thing is that if we try and do anything as Nigerians through proper channels, it's quite a frustrating experience. So I can imagine them not even thinking about that as a holistic thing and just saying, you know what, let's just leave this thing. There's no point. Because I hear what you're saying, that they might have decided to postpone, but what about everybody else that's playing? They're not just going to postpone because why? So that's just my own thinking.
Let's still remain on this subject. George, before you come in, I want to welcome our diva from Turkey, Yema Benson. Can you hear us? Can you see us?
Thank you, everyone, and welcome viewers to In Between the Lines on Monday. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Where have you been away for so long?
Hi, thank you. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes.
Okay.
Where have you been away for so long?
Yeah, they've all been hiding. Fiona, everybody has been dodging. Maybe they thought the missile from Israel will come on them, Okay, yeah, George, go ahead. George, were you going to say something on the CAF and all that stuff? Because I'm with Fiona on this one. Raji, they couldn't have waited for anybody to do that suspension for themselves because they were caught up in a situation that was like we heard here in the studio, no communication. They couldn't even phone. They said networks were down, internet was out, stranded in an airport, nowhere in a no man's land. And you say they shouldn't do anything that they could have done. I mean, you don't treat human beings and make them. There's a level to where you take people to. So that's what I think too. Anyway, they said they'll boycott that COP with Libya, this whole situation, and let's see what the Football Association comes up with next. Is that okay? Is anybody saying anything to that again? No. Okay. All right, viewers. Gentlemen, let's go on a small break. We'll be back. Stay on, viewers. It's Between the Lines, Monday, 14th October 2024. See you on the other side as we come back. Thank you.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Hello everybody, it's me, Becca from the Africa Guitar Showdown. I'm so happy and I want to thank everybody at SSM Schengen Story Media for supporting me and following me through this journey.
Elevate your new week, fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world events. Hook up to SSM Monday program Between the Lines.
Yes, when we're here, Between the Lines, 14th October 2024. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuan. I'm here in the studio with my coordinators. Raji is there from Lagos, Nigeria. Fiona Yema Benson is here from Turkey, Istanbul.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Gentlemen, while the other guys join in, gentlemen, let's talk. Yeah, Fiona is there from London, UK. It's good to have you guys. A lot's happening everywhere. Now let's talk about something very serious, and that is what we're seeing with the political parties in Nigeria. This morning, the other side of the party, we have the APC, PDP. These are the two major parties in Nigeria. I mean, there are many more, but 27 of them, but the two guys pulling weight is PDP, APC. Now, this morning, one of the other party side, PDP member said, the current PDP situation in the country is very embarrassing. Fayose is speaking, a former governor of Ekiti State. He said too many things are happening in the PDP party, suspension, counter suspensions, all kinds of anti-party activities. Gentlemen, let's talk about this, because we talking about it might be probably from what we see, our experiences outside might help these people understand that politics, party politics, know how they're doing it. For example, we saw what happened in Rivers State. A governor that is supposed to be a party member siding with another party, aligning with another party. Then this other governor to putting all his effort in another party to, all kinds of funny things. Fiona, let me start with you. Do you think PDP has lost its power, its values, like Fayose is saying?
There's a lot of stuff going on with PDP. A lot. And when you have juggernauts in the party, the big people in the party playing a game that we can't quite understand. So when we have the Danobis and the Wikis of this world, and they're supposed to be PDP stalwarts, but we're not quite sure if they're PDP or APC. I think that's one big concern. Obviously, with the center as APC at the moment, that's a whole nother concern. And if we look at what happened with the Edo State elections, that's a whole nother concern. So it appears to be quite clear that PDP appears to be getting to a point where they're going to become politically irrelevant. I don't think at the moment they even have anybody that I consider a real proper forerunner to 27. So I think that, we'll have a conversation, but there are one or two people that are considering seeing if they can get into the PDP fray that I'm aware of. But let's see what happens, because PDP is becoming like a persona non grata in Nigeria already. So we just have to see.
Good one. And Raji, we need a checkmate. We can't have a one-party system where that party becomes everything. It's good that other parties rise and checkmate oppositions and all that. Raji, what do you think? PDP is losing its power?
As it is, there are no parties in the true sense of a party, of political parties in Nigeria. They are all special purpose vehicles for getting into power and being able to get into the coffers of the country. If you look at every member of APC or PDP was at one time or the other PDP or APC. They are so intermingled that you will not know who was an original APC or original PDP. There are very, very few people, like probably like Tinubu, for instance, who was in AC, got to ACN and became APC. But Atiku, for instance, was a point started as PDP, got to ACN and went back to PDP. Wike is the problem. Is the fly the fly in the ointment at the moment. Is the one that's disrupting all the parties, because it's neither it's supposed to be PDP, but it's disrupting the PDP government in Rivers, and is a part of the APC government, and so strong in the APC government structure that the people in APC cannot push him out of APC. So we don't know now whether it has become one Frankenstein monster disrupting everything. Is the reason why the PDP governor is the reason why the PDP government in Rivers, governor in Rivers supported APP in the local government elections.
So you see, George is okay. You see that it's very confusing, and anybody start looking at Nigerian political space, they would think we're just knuckleheads. I mean,
we don't have parties.
It's crazy.
We don't have parties.
Somebody's in PDP, he's supporting APP. This one is in this, is supporting this, and everybody's running over, jumping from one party. Tomorrow we hear these people have decamped, these people are no more here, all kind of crazy thing. Because Raji, one of the reasons, before Yema speaks, I think is because our parties don't have value, no ideology, no aim. It's just let's form this party and let's just go and do election.
There are special purpose vehicles for getting into power.
Okay.
Special purpose vehicles.
They
don't have any clear agenda.
Yes, Yema, what will you say of this? Now, somebody among them is saying, really, PDP, one of these parties, he say they've lost it. They've lost it. I mean, with all that is going on, do you agree that the parties are confused?
Yes, I do. I do agree that PDP is going politically obsolete. Yani. They're going. I do agree with that. And I mean, there are parties. There are other 27 parties in Nigeria. There are other parties where we have intentional leaders, but they're not given the chance to become the majority. So they're just seen as the minority leaders because there are people that has real intentions for the political system. Like they want to really grow Nigeria, but they're not given that chance because, as Saraji said, that is a vehicle to come into power. So the ones in power just want to be there to rule, to just to keep holding on to power without intention. So yes, PDP is going absolute. There is no other party that is standing tall that could hold the AP accountable. So we have Wiki running around, just going around, just to be there. Like PDP is absolute. I would say that. Yes, I agree.
George, we missed you earlier.
Yes. I apologize. Now you know what is going on. Yeah, even in 2015 election, when Jonathan came out to run again, PDP actually was dead at that moment because there was no action coming from them. If it wasn't because Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria was, instituted, to help as a not-for-profit organization to help PDP, they had no voice, and it was almost like there was a vacuum for leadership from leadership. So, and that's what you're seeing even up until today. And because the witch hunting APC was going after a lot of PDP, when all of them were corrupt, but they go after PDP members. So most of them jumped over to APC. So now what you're seeing is nothing but crumbs under the table when PDP is concerned. And let me tell you another situation that actually hurt PDP. Number one, because of the rotational presidency, Atiku knew that there was no way he was going to be the president of Nigeria coming from the north. But they still manipulated themselves out of the whole equation by making Atiku to be the one to get nominated on PDP. When that took place, it was a slap on the face of the Southerners when PDP was concerned. And that was the time they should have cut umbilical cord with PDP permanently, because Atiku knew that there was no way he was going to win that presidency because he's from the north. That silent handshake rotational system was still at work, and yet they made it to be that way. So that was it. The PDP is almost done.
George, I know you're very involved with politics. Viewers, what you're seeing now is some of the logos of political parties in Nigeria. So don't think it's just two parties. We have 27 of them, and even I think maybe more. Even though some are still coming up. George, what do you think could happen in 2027? Because APC is gaining hold. APC is taking, now Edo is for APC. And these are some key states in our country. Do you think APC might just take over the whole Nigeria?
The problem we have with Nigeria is Number one, there are no ideological differences between all the political parties there. You know, like Raji said, they are nothing but vehicle, you know, to into power and money. That's all it is. So I honestly believe in these 4 years, you think the only way any other party will take over is only by God's intervention. If not, there is no way. I told you guys, you know, when Buhari was running for the second time, and they were asking Buhari, I say, wait a minute, oh no, what if you lose? The man smiled and said, I cannot lose. He said, I'm not going to lose. No, he said, I cannot lose. Why was it so? Because they know what happens in that presidential election. They used to write it. Now, when they brought this, you know, this sophisticated system to ensure that there was fairness and equity and justice when it comes to electing the members that Nigeria wanted. So they had to find a way to manipulate the system and still do what they used to do. So even now, do you think that now that, you know, Asiwaju Jagaban is in power, that he will allow any other person to be there after his 4th year? It's not happening. I can say it categorically in front of everybody. They're not going to elect anybody. They're going to write it like they used to do.
Fiona, do you think same? Fiona, what do you think might happen? APC taking hold of everybody.
Yeah, I think we've had this conversation the last week or so, and I've said as much. You know, I think that once Delta State goes, then that's really it. You know, so I mean, it was really laudable what the LP was doing, and it's really great to see what's happening in Abia State. But I don't really know. I don't really know. I really don't know. I can even see a situation where, you know, the state might even become APC, really, just you know, to just so that to make the flowing of life easy. So I think we're pretty much facing a one-party system soon enough. I think so, definitely.
Can I inject 1 second? Can I inject 1 second? Okay. Additionally to what I just said, one thing we need to understand is this: the only way Buhari would have won that election was joining forces with the West, and he won the election. And a pact was made regarding when your turn is over, returning the baton back to me. And that's why we saw the change in the election period when, you know, all of a sudden Buhari, who was against Tinubu openly, now joined forces with him because he would have divided the party. But now listen to this. Let me tell you something. If this guy is not a greedy guy working with the North, I mean, I'm talking about the head of PDP today. They are running the former presidential candidate. If he is not working with the North, I can tell you what they did in those states by collapsing all others and joining one party in order to win. That's the only way they can win this election. By collapsing most of these parties, come together, and they will have nothing but just like about 75% of the votes. They now can force it to win, because the only way any party can win now over these people is that way. If it remains the way it is, there's no way. Even if nobody votes, they will win.
Yeah.
Thank you, George.
Let him who thinks he stands beware.
Let him who thinks he stands beware.
He stands
viewers,
beware.
Thank you. The former governor of Ekiti State raised this alarm and said his party has missed it, and that's why we're bringing that line to you. Gentlemen, let's move on to some international updates now. George, we heard there was a third attempt on the man Trump.
The trumpet.
Third attempt. Raji, third attempt on your trumpet man. There you go. This was the rally, and a man came there all strapped up, you know, with everything, all arms, all kinds of guns. And what we heard was he was stopped, checked, and, you know, he presented fake credentials, fake VIP credentials that took him to that corner of where he went to. And probably that was where he could have taken the shots from. So the man's name is Vin Miller, 49-year-old man. He's been taken into custody. And this was happening there in California on Saturday. George, I'm sorry, Raji. Raji, let's hear you first.
I think it's all drama.
It's all drama.
If a real assassin wants to take out Trump, he won't come up all gagged up. I think it's part of a drama. Although I'm a Trumpite, but I can see a drama. I can see drama when I see it.
Okay, I see. Raji, thank you so very much. You took the words out of my mouth, because this is it. You know, as long as what you call the Trump doctrine is, it doesn't matter good or bad news, as long as I'm trending, you know, that is the key to success. So right now, one of the major problems he's facing is because he's facing somebody who is so intelligent and so sharp when it comes to discussing issues and stuff like that. You know, and so Trump is masquerading himself and trying everything he could. Let me tell you, see all of these things, every single one of them, I believe, except maybe the first one, but the rest of them are planned. Once he starts seeing his popularity go down, or there is nothing, something big that is happening, he will go into all these things. I believe is all planned. It is all planned to ensure. That's it.
Do you think this is planned?
I think. I mean, when I saw on the group, I think my reaction was pretty clear. I mean, to me, I actually started laughing when I heard it on the news. I actually burst out laughing like, oh my goodness, because the guy is just like a pure comedy skit. I think you would have to be of quite low intelligence to actually like buy into this and think that this is actually a real thing. It's not. I just feel sorry for the poor guy that they've brought into this film, but I'm sure he's going to be rewarded in some kind of handsome way. But to me, it's just all just noise and just trying to just deflect from the fact that he's just really low quality.
Drama.
So I'm not really, I don't buy any of it. I don't believe it. I just think, just trying to just look for ways to just, remain in the spotlight. Yeah.
You guys are, I'm taken aback with your statements, because take note that America, it has good security arms that will do background check, do all of this. So he can't be playing with that. He knows what the repercussion of faking things. He knows what it could lead. So I'm surprised you're saying this, but I mean, between lines, these are your opinions. And maybe
this is between lines. This is between lines. This is between lines. But pay attention to this. When it goes up until tomorrow, you're dealing with somebody who is a crook from the very beginning. Even in all his conversations, from the time before he even came out, he was making sure when he was doing all his, criminal acts, discussing with lawyers, you will see that he knew how to talk, not to get himself criminally, involved directly in any situation. So what you are understanding is this is a man who would do anything humanly possible, including putting at risk the lives of his own vice president and the rest of the Republicans, and then they look the other way afterwards. Let me tell you, the guy is dangerous. He can do whatever he needs to do, and that's what he is doing. I can stake my life to it, because the people that are investigating this are the ones involved in planning it. So how are you going to be able to prove it?
Okay, let's see how it comes out. Yema, what do you think? You think it's all cooked up?
I mean, someone that has been in the system for a while, he has his ways around things. It's possible. I mean, it can be the first time, the second time, the third time. I mean, America is not where people, the way they shoot in America, the gun violence, they're very used to gun. There is no way they'll just come up and they don't have a target. They'll kill him at once. I'm sorry I'm using that word, but I think it's all a joke and play. I mean, just to get attention.
I wish I knew somebody who can do a real good cartoon. We'll do cartoon with this one. It will be very popular. I'm telling you.
Okay, let's see if this turns out to be true, like you've all said. Now, before we begin to round up, but before we do that, let's commend. There's a Nigerian, or he's British anyway,
bodybuilder,
or he's Nigerian bodybuilder called Samson Baudu. He won the 2024 Mr. Olympia event. Now he gets $600,000, and he's all over the internet. What do you guys want to say? Samson Daudu.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I really hope it's worth it, because I saw the end of one of the most brilliant bodybuilders who, after all the steroids, he could hardly walk.
I mean,
I hope it's worth it to him. I hope it's worth it, because all those muscles, no, they are not natural.
well, it's all
Now,
about choices. I mean, that's his choice, and that's a life he has chosen. I mean, I see nothing wrong with that.
The thing is that the thing is that if you know some of them, most of them, they use chemical enhancement to just kind of tone their body, kill the muscles, and eat a lot, and then turn everything into sugar to muscles. So they know what to do. I believe that there are certain things, like some of these footballers in America. When you see how they eat, then you will understand the reason why they are the way they are. Because they, when we are drinking one glass of milk, they're drinking 8. When you're eating like one, maybe 1 or 2 eggs, they're eating like 12 or 15 all at the same time.
Whoa.
No, seriously. When you see them eat, you'll be like, if you a banquet for 5 or 6 people, one person will finish it, and then they go turn it into muscles. They do that.
There are a lot of steroids involved, and I'm sorry for their manhood. I'm actually sorry for their manhood, because
Fiona, you're not saying anything, but let's comment. Ahmad, something.
Well, I mean, obviously, anything that's going to be, raise the profile of Nigerians in any way, I'm very happy about. Congratulations on all those things. I stand with what Sir Raji said, that, yes, I understand what Sir George said about protein and the way they eat. I've seen it myself. I mean, my son was a rugby player, so I know what how important the diet is. But when we see things like this, it's obvious that there's more stuff to it, and we've seen people even develop mental health issues with that. So I think I align with what Sir Raji said, that we wish him all the best. I hope he does well with the money that he's making, and I hope we're not going to, in 10 years time, have a different conversation. But other than that, I mean, it's not something that I like to look at. It's not appealing to me, but obviously there's some people that like that sort of thing, so I don't know.
It's not really appealing.
It's quite baffling. We just changed the whole topic from congratulation to like about this, but it's supposed to be a congratulation.
Sorry, guys. Did you look at this manhood?
No. We're not coming to that one now.
Okay, it's very important too.
I mean, they chose it. It's inspired.
We congratulate him, and we congratulate Nigeria.
Yeah.
He brings our name out there. These are what we want.
Their ups and downs.
Also, in November the 17th, there'll be the bigger one. This one is Mr. Olympia. There's the Mr. Universe and Mrs. Universe too. There you will see women too, looking like very massive looking. So that comes up here in my place in Italy, in Venice. Mr. Universe 2024 will be coming up soon. The one that was held, this one, the Olympia was done in Las Vegas last night, George. I was close to you. And Samson Daudu won the grand prize. Yes, gentlemen, there are other stories. George, go ahead. You were going to say something?
No, I just wanted to say congratulations, Nigeria. We still have great things coming out of you. Oh, my nation.
Thank you. All right, guys. The small news before we go is the Tesla car, Elon Musk's car, killed 4 people, blew up. They were driving and the car just blew up, boom, right in Paris, France. So the conversation now is, are these automated cars, these electric cars, are they safe enough to convey people?
The car hit a culvert.
And exploded.
The explosion, yes.
Okay, that could have caused
it's not that it exploded on its own.
Okay.
Yes, okay. It hit a culvert. But I thought we were going to talk about the news of how well SpaceX did
Yes,
with
SpaceX. Yeah, it's the time. It's the time. The SpaceX did so well. Yes, Raji. Raji, but thank you for putting that right. On the Tesla accident. It hit a wall, the culvert, and exploded. Good one, Raji. Resourceful way for us there. Gentlemen, I think we have to go. Let's keep to our time. Wednesday, we'll talk more of other things. There's so much more to talk, but we keep it also rolling on our pages, on our group chats, social handles. Follow us, viewers. It's hot with SSM, and today's Between the Line has been very hot with F.N.A coming by, Niema, George.
Can you imagine? Making us look so good.
I said,
Fiona hasn't said anything about the beauty competition she was refereeing.
Yes, Fiona will tell us about that next time because
I'd like to see some beautiful women.
Yes, SSM has been supporting people. I don't know if you all saw the advert during the break. There is this young girl. Maybe I'll play it again.
Hello everybody, it's me, Becca from the After Guitar Showdown. I'm so happy and I want to thank everybody at SSM, Schengen Story Media, for supporting me and following me through this journey.
Now what you saw there is a girl we were with through. There was a competition in Hollywood and a guitar competition. So we were the media partner for her, and we supported her, did all we can, and she did so well. She represented. Imagine this girl was representing Europe, a black girl, a Ghanaian representing Europe.
Great.
That's amazing.
That's great support from SSM.
Yes, and we were all through with her. All right, gentlemen, see you on Wednesday. Please be there, Fiona. Be there, Yema. Be there, Raji and George. Wednesday, we want to see everybody again. Until then, have a beautiful week. God bless you.
Have a good evening.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Fiona, good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Great to see everybody.
Elevate your new
week.
Fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update, Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis, and the most attention-grabbing lines, Deciphering World Event.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in diaspora and at home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current